A storm is approaching. Hello everyone, welcome to the Watch Poplars. It is yet another Friday the 13th. I don't know how often Friday the 13th happens, but I thought it was like a yearly thing, like it happens like once a year, but like at different months or something, I don't know. Well, now I know it happens more than once a year, I guess. I think there was also one in spring this year, so three times. I don't know. It is lightly raining. We're getting there's a high wind advisory, a high wind warning actually, for our area because there is a storm coming, and I don't know if it's going to be as strong as the one last time, like in November, but it's happening tonight, so I'll make sure to get no sleep at all so that I can see the wind, and maybe I might be able to show you if it gets strong enough, but yeah, it's probably going to be raining at the same time as well, and yeah, wet wet and windy, with a wind chill factor for sure. So I'm going to be making a video about Albizia, or I guess aka mimosa. Now, do you remember that video I made about Chinese elm? The tree's right there, and it's lost 50% of its foliage since last time I showed you it. So you can see it still has a lot of leaves on. There's one over there I'll show you behind it that is almost completely bare, but yeah. These mimosas, I don't know why that branch still has out like all of its leaves on. It's so strange. What about that branch makes it keep its leaves? Well, I don't know. But this morning, I dug up a lot of seedlings that came from this tree, but they were in the garden of my school, and that's down the staircase over there. So there's 24 of them in here, but when I piled the soil back up, it covered most of them. But yeah, this is what they look like when they first sprout. You see, they just have like these two bright colored fleshy leaves, and then they sprout a little compound leaf or two, and just seedlings all over the ground. Just one here. Where else? They're all over the place. Mainly I think like right along here. I don't know why, but they're probably just all over the lawn. Where? This acorn. That's not where an acorn should be growing. Where else? I've seen so many mushrooms growing on this lawn before. Well, there's lots. Oh yes, the seedlings. There's another one here. Where else? There's one here. There's a nice leaf. I don't know if I want to dig up all of these. There'll be so many Albizia seedlings in my collection, and I don't want too many trees. But there are also a whole bunch of them right here. Look at that. There's 1, 2, it's lost its leaves. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, lots of them. Yeah, so the leaves start out very simple, and they start out with just like two of these, two leaf stems at the end of the main stem, and then they just start out like this. Well, at the very first leaves, they're just this. They're just one of these, and then more leaves come out. They kind of form two main parts of the leaf, and then they form 4 main parts of the leaf. And so that number increases as it gets older. So this is where the 4-part leaf is. Now these ones are very protected from the frost, so they have their leaves on still, but they're sort of getting fall colors. The parent trees have mostly defoliated themselves, and those mushrooms are still there. They have not died. Yeah, those mushrooms. So, yeah, these are very nice mushrooms. Oh yeah, there's the original one there, and then it's spread. These are very nice mushrooms. So yeah, the seedlings of this, like the mimosas, they're very, like, they'll pop up everywhere, but because we have dry summers, anywhere that's not irrigated during the summer will have, the seedlings will not spread there, because at first they grow very slowly. And then maybe like the next year, if they are growing in good soil, they'll grow very fast. But yeah, there's another one here. It's a bit more developed, and it's 1 year old possibly. Yeah. So by the end of the growing season, it is grown from seed. So yeah, there's lots of them here, but I can't collect them all, even though they're probably growing in an not ideal place. The raindrops are getting quite large. It's not cold enough for hail. But yeah, trees make very nice sounds when the wind blows. The seed pods. So now for like facts. So these trees are in the legume family. They're not like I don't think they're not a pure legume. They're leguminous. They don't have like the pea flowers like beans do, but they form seed pods, and they have these leaves, compound leaves. And now it is raining, and the wind is picking up at the same time. So, yeah, these can grow much larger in their native habitat, which is probably Mexico. It might be the same kind, or maybe it's a different kind. But there's one that grows in Mexico that is like semi-evergreen because of its warm climate, and this is near Sayulita. Well, that's where I went on winter break this year. And I saw lots of them. They were like 4 times as tall as this. They had huge trunks, and they were just colossal. Same shape, same kind of spreading shape like that, like chanterelle mushrooms, but a lot larger. They were very inspirational. I didn't get any pictures of those trees. Maybe I do. I'll just have to scroll through my camera roll from that trip. But these are subtropical, and these ones, I think this is the Persian silk tree. And Persia, where is Persia? I don't know. I'm gonna guess Persia is somewhere near the Middle East. I don't know. But I'll have to check. I'll have to search up where Persia is. But yeah, Persian silk tree. And this is not to be confused with the silk floss tree. The silk floss tree is a type of ceiba that appears to be a semi-succulent tree, but that is a completely different species. But yeah, so that is the mimosa or albizia, and this is the leaves in their fall colors. So sometimes they're more pretty than this, but usually from a distance, this is what the color of the tree looks like during its fall colors. They're not always yellow, but here are the seed pods. They haven't fallen off the tree yet, obviously, but yeah, and you can see, so they're like, I don't know, like 5 inches long, I think. I don't know. Yeah, maybe 4 or 5 inches long. Are all about the same size. Those ones are a bit longer than those ones for some reason. And these ones are a lot shorter. Oh, this one, I don't know. But yeah, this one's sure enough. This tree is old enough to form seed pods. It probably has been old enough to form seed pods for quite a while, quite a few decades. And I don't know how old these can get, but maybe over 100 years old. But yeah, here's the bark, the scale of it. It's quite smooth, and I haven't seen any older than this, but I'm assuming that the bark when they're very, very old, they can get rougher than this and get very crackled. But there is none of that. There are no super crackled bark. Well, maybe when they're very, very old, they look like this. But this is a young tree, and so most of its bark is quite smooth. Yeah, and the structure is very nice as well. I've seen lots of bonsai of trees related to this, but they're almost always styled in like the misleaded bonsai classic, which is pine tree. That style, and that style is a pine tree right there, but that's not how I'm gonna style mine. I'm gonna style it like these, and the ones I saw in Mexico, because if someone looks at my Persian silk tree bonsai and sees it in the style that I'll style mine in, they'll relate to it. They'll see, oh yeah, that's how they grow. I've seen so many of them that look like that. And if I style mine like a pine tree, they'll be like, well, I have never seen them grow like this. I can't relate to it. I can't relate. And therefore, it looks like a bonsai. It doesn't look like a Persian silk tree. I mean, because yeah, so it's kind of like a misleaded thing. Because I believe the art of bonsai originally started with junipers and pines, and then people experimented with more variety of trees, and I don't know why, but we just didn't really find and reconcile. I believe, hopefully I'm using the right word, that different trees grow in different ways. You can see this deciduous tree, this mimosa, grows differently from Chinese pistache. And redwoods grow straight up and down, whereas pines are a bit more freeform. And Chinese elm grows in a broom style, and as well as Chinese pistache. I don't think this is quite as much as a broom style. This is more of an acacia style, a Pyrenean style, where you have these branches. They have lots of movement in a low spreading canopy, kind of a triangular overall shape from the trunk, kind of like that. So yeah, eucalyptus. There's a eucalyptus tree right here. They grow in a broom style. So redwoods, most conifers grow in formal upright. You could grow it in a broom style. That would look quite interesting. But I like to style mine how the trees grow in nature, because it's relatable. I've never really spent a while like looking at a maple tree that has been styled like a pine tree. I was like, it looks like a bonsai. And that's kind of all I think. I'm being honest with you guys. That's all I think. And there's nothing wrong with styling a maple like a pine tree. It's based on like what you think, but you just gotta consider. It's a consideration you should make when you are styling a tree for bonsai. That keep in mind how maples grow in nature. Now I think I want to show you that part of the courtyard that I spent the majority of my Chinese elm video over there. I need to bring this, because I feel like it might get taken out. And also school just ended. School has just gotten out to Friday. It's Friday the 13th, so yeah. I love celebrating Friday the 13th. Now, I think the Chinese pistache here, these are not full grown, these are actually quite young, in fact. They're not mature yet. So, in Chinese pistache, they grow similar to an oak, but it takes a long time for them to reach that state of life. The magnolia here, the buds are just naturally large. You can see it's not about to push out any flowers. It just has naturally large flower buds. And this will be all pink in March. I'm very excited for that. But this is how it grows naturally, and it looks like it's possibly been pruned, because I see on some parts of the tree it had a response to possibly a pruning, and it sent out a lot of shoots right there. That is very disproportionate to the size of the tree and how old it looks. So that branch was probably cut back, and it decided to replace it with a lot of long shoots. And those shoots right there are probably like 3 years old, possibly. I can definitely see where it grew like a meter. It definitely grew a meter in its first year of sprouting out right there. But other than that, the rest of the branches are very, very finely placed. It looks very, very beautiful. Tight ramification. But yeah, here's the Chinese elm. Now there's a Jeep right here. I will not show the license plate because I don't know I don't know if that is legal to show license plates, and I have probably shown lots of them. So my jeez. So yeah, here. This is the Chinese elm. And it gets these like odd fall colors. Sometimes the leaves will just kind of fall off when they're green sometimes. Maybe they just start turning yellow and then they fall off, but generally they don't get the best fall colors. And now these yellow branches here are probably dying. That's why. They're probably dying and they will not come back in spring. And it doesn't mean this tree is dying, but it just means it's sorting itself out. This tree does get pruned because it's growing over the roof of this church. And yeah, so now I will go past the Jeep. Now there's more mimosa seedlings in here. There's also Chinese pistache seedlings in here as well. So, I don't know. I'll have to give away any more seedlings that I dig up of the same kind I already have. I'm probably not going to keep all the seedlings I brought with me because I already have two. They're doing very well. I don't need any more. So here is the other Chinese elm. I don't know if this is a different kind of elm. If it's older, it's the same size. It looks the same age, but it just has such very, very fine growth. And I'll show you a close-up of the growth. It's very, very slow growing. So here is the growth so this, from my thumb to the end of this twig is this year's growth. Very, very slow. On this one it's grown a little bit more. My thumb to the end of that one is this year's growth. It's grown a little bit more on this one. So I don't know. It's slow growing. It looks like a Chinese elm. It has the same exact bark. Its growth rate is very, very different from that one over there. So yeah. So strange, but it does get a lot better fall colors. And the seeds are, I think it's dropping its seeds now. I see a lot of seeds on the branches. They look very ripe. And last time I showed you, I did show you the seeds, but I didn't show you like what they actually become. So there's the seeds. They're very small, and the actual seed is like a flat seed. And yeah, so the average leaf size. This is like the largest leaf size you can get on this. They get a lot smaller, as I showed you in the last video of this Chinese elm. Yeah, that's quite small. There's a small one there. Now, my bonsai version of Chinese elm, they are not getting fall colors at all. So, I don't know. That's the Chinese elm, and I think I want to show you the poplars. Yeah. The poplars are mostly defoliated. There's the sweet gum trees. That one's bare, but the rest of them still have some leaves, and there's two over here that are in their peak fall colors. They're looking very nice. Sweet gums have a wide range of time in their fall colors. You got a lot of genetic differences of seasonal changes. So now we'll go down the staircase. Is this like a balcony or something? This looks strange. There's like a pipe that goes here. It looks like it's like accessible, but probably from not the outside. Now I'm going down these stairs. This is one of the ways to enter the school. This is where we walk in and out of the school from the fire fire drills and earthquake drills and stuff, but here are the poplars. I got my layer, my ground layer from that one, this younger one here. I don't know if this one suckered out up from the soil, from the rootstock of this bigger one here, but the fall color timing differences makes me wonder if these are actually separate genetics. I think they are separate genetics because clearly they have different fall color timing. This one just passed its peak fall colors. This one still has some of its leaves on, but yeah. So yeah, I got mine. I remember I was making the video down there in August. I had my computer, and yeah. So yeah, even though they get late fall colors, they're really lovely fall colors, and you just gotta appreciate it for the way it is and the time it occurs at. So yeah, that is it. The rain has momentarily ceased, but the clouds look very cool. Look at that. It's very ominous. And the trees still make a lovely noise when the wind blows. So yeah. Also, this Monterey pine is swaying quite a bit. That's not to worry about. So yeah, that is the Mimosa albizia, and the Chinese elm, and the poplars, and the sweet gums, and the other stuff in this courtyard, which is a very nice place to be, to see seasonal changes. I'll be here in spring, March, and that would be very exciting, especially with that magnolia over there. And yeah. So, oh, well, I guess it was about time they cut down the spruce. It wasn't doing well anyway, so I am with that decision. And look right there, there's a red leaf right there. There's a baby Chinese pistache growing in there. And his parent, this is his parent right there. This one here. I cleared away all the juniper that was very fragrant. But I don't know, they're keeping the crepe myrtle trees, which is good. And they're keeping these, which is also good. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like someday in the future, that big cottonwood there will be removed, and then these will be removed, and this will be all a garden. But I don't really want that to happen. I just don't. No. I'm not ready for that, and I hope I don't live to. I'm not here when that happens. I hope I still live when that happens, but I just don't want to be here to see that happen, because yeah, I like these trees. I like everything here. But yeah, that is all for today. That was a nice half an hour of being productive and not stalling and tripping over my words. So yeah, that is all for today. This is the Watchwalkers, and I will see you in the next video.